This is an AI business masterclass that I hosted a while ago. There's a ton of information about funnels, ChatGPT, how to use it in your business, marketing, social media content, what are the best AI tools to use. This is jam packed. So take notes. And if you found this valuable, join my AI community down below, or you can also book an appointment if you want to learn how to use AI in your profession or your business. Enjoy. Take first a 10,000 foot view of AI. How does it impact the economy, both employees and for business owners? Why is this important? Where are we with like ChatGPT 4 or actually 1.0 now? Claude's coming out with their newest one. Why is this important so that we can all stay ahead and take advantage? I'm going to show you my model of the way I teach and coach entrepreneurs and business owners how to take not just full of advantage of AI, but just basic computer literacy. That's going to have a huge improvement in their life. You need to have these digital tools in order to work. We basically in a digital economy now. Now we're in an AI economy. I'm going to go through what I find is you need to have a digital marketing system before you add AI to it. A lot of people are using like AI website builders or stuff like that. That's not the best tools and stuff. So you need to have the right tools in place so that when you start using AI, you can, most of my clients, they'll double their revenue in 90 days once they start using these tools correctly. I'll go through basics, prompt engineering, custom GPTs, which is probably the most advanced thing we'll get into. I'll show you my top 50 AI tools. And then lastly, how to stay relevant with education and training going forward. So let's begin. ChatGPT, this is so old, 2023. We're now in ChatGPT 1.0, which is the new reasoning model. And this has been around since 2018. So the main thing to know that every single week there are new tools, there are updates to the model, and the entire ecosystem as far as how businesses use AI and how they adapt are happening very, very quickly. So education is probably the number one thing to invest in to really stay up to date, because if you don't have AI skills, you will be replaced. Not by AI. AI is not going to take your job, basically, but someone with AI skills will take your job. Employers are basically no longer hiring people if they don't have AI skills. Business owners do not hire anyone if they do not have AI skills. They are already far behind. You could take an employee that has AI skills and they will be able to make 3 times more money for your business just using the latest AI skills. So it's actually a handicap if you hire anyone that doesn't have AI skills. Then lastly, here's my most important one. Most people just don't have basic computer literacy. A lot of people are still using Windows and Microsoft products and stuff like that. For example, no shame with that, but it's basically those are already outdated technology. People who are using the correct tools, especially because I follow a lot of Silicon Valley and the stuff that these billion-dollar startups are using to train their employees and operate. You have to use the right tools, be trained on them so that you can work smarter, not harder, and just a lot faster at the end of the day. So the main thing what you want to invest in, there's only 3 AI tools that you need to really focus on. There's a bunch of them out there, but there's only 3 that you need to master. One is ChatGPT Plus. You need to buy the paid plan. You cannot function without, or you can't get the most out of AI just on the free plan. You have to be on the paid plan to really start using what's called custom GPTs. That's where all the automation, time saving, that's where all the ROI is going to come from. So this is the main pyramid of skill set and knowledge that you have to build to really take advantage of a lot of this. If you skip any of these steps, you won't be able to get the most out of AI. You won't be able to grow your business properly. You're basically, at the end of the day, just using outdated technology, which just takes more time and cost in your business. So let's build this foundation super quick. Top 13 productivity tools. These are just how you touch a computer. Everything is online. Do not operate a business from, I have a lot of business owners that want to operate their business from the phone. You need a dedicated computer that's just for business operations, basically. So these are the 13 tools every entrepreneur needs to start using in order for them to manage their tasks and projects, organize all their digital nodes so they could keep up with the flood of new information and work more efficiently without getting burnt out. Because our brain, unfortunately, is not able to keep up with all the information, all the like the say for example the list of 50 AI tools. I don't memorize them basically. I just keep them in a reference note in Notion, which is like a second brain. So it allows me to remember things without having to write them down, have them scattered on different like notebooks or like Apple Notes or stuff like that. So these are the 13 tools that just using each of these tools, you're going to make your life so much easier. I mean, just for example, even just using a password manager because everything has a special login, one for security, another for business. Password managers just save you so much time. I have a lot of business owners that still write down their passwords on pen and paper and stuff like that. So these are just this is just computer literacy 101. Real quick, number one is just the computer that you use. I have two new clients that I just took on, and they're still on a Windows computer. We've spent the last month just fighting Windows to try and get the software updated, to try and hook up the drivers. All the software doesn't even work on it. They can't really take advantage of a lot of the automation. So they've basically wasted their first month of coaching just on debugging and troubleshooting Windows computer. Next month, they're going to be buying everyone Mac computers for their team and for themselves. And it's just going to automate. We don't have to do any tech support, basically, which is nice. So it's not a Mac versus PC kind of thing. Everything just works effortlessly, especially if you want to get work done on a Mac. So time management, we had about 15 people sign up for this webinar. Of course, do time management, they didn't show up. So you need to be managing, you need to have a time calendar. For example, one, manage appointments, contacts, especially for your business. And then lastly, this is a really good book. I'm going to actually put this in here too. Yeah. Deep. This is a great book called Deep Work. Deep Work basically teaches the concept that if you really want to move the metrics and reach your goals in either personal life or business life, you need to be practicing what's called time blocking. And time blocking is basically you need to be dedicating 1 to a few hours a day. That's actually a really good example. Actually, I like this example. This is real nice. Cool. So say, for example, if this person has a goal of wanting to write a book, which is a very big goal, you need to be dedicating 1 to 3 hours a day on what's called deep work, which is uninterrupted work time, where you've blocked it off on your calendar. It's already committed. And you're now going to just work on focusing on trying to move the needle in that one specific project. A lot of people don't manage their time, so they're unable to start the business, grow the business, focus on working on the business instead of staying trapped in the business. So just calendars and stuff like that is really helpful. Number 2 is basically there's too many tasks that you need to do, both personal life and work. So how do you organize all the priorities across your personal life, your work life, and move the needle to get enough work done efficiently? I highly recommend there's many different task managers out there. You need to have a task manager in order to be working, especially for growing a business, managing clients, deliverables, operations, marketing, creating content. One of the newest clients I took on, he's now creating social media content. Every business, we'll get into content a lot deeper, but he has to create content if he wants to get leads and has to get sales. So he's now dedicated 1 hour, or it's actually 2 hours, once a week, every Sunday, to dedicate to just creating content. So he's already posted 5 videos, and now he has 2 clients within his first 30 days. But previously, he didn't have a task manager, wasn't managing his schedule. So he needs to be doing this so that every week it becomes consistent, like clockwork, where he has to be pumping out content consistently. Quick thing about social media content: every business is a social media marketing, like a video production business first, and then whatever product or service that you're selling second. What that means is that in today's virtual world, all your customers are on either one of four apps: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Well, let's do them in priority. They're either on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or actually Facebook, and then TikTok. I'm not going to throw Twitter in there. Those are the top four apps that where your customers, where you're like, hey, I need to get leads. I need to build and nurture relationships with my prospects. All of that is going to be done through social media. You have to be on social media because as soon as a client, that's one, where they're going to discover you. Second, where they're going to find out more about you to build the know, like, and trust. They need to consume 7 hours of content in order to make large purchases with your business, for example. So all of that is going to be done through social media. You have to. So second one, digital notebook. This one's probably the most important one, especially when it comes to AI. Most people, when they use ChatGPT, they keep the conversations of whatever they're using in ChatGPT. They keep the conversations in ChatGPT and they don't take the information out. The most important thing when you're using ChatGPT or any AI tool is whatever that you're working on. Let's just say I was working on a meetup group, for example. Whatever it gives you some information where you're like, this is now useful, I'm now going to use it in my final project, for example, you need to copy it and put it in. I'm actually going to take this one right here. You need a digital notebook. I do not recommend, let's put it right here. Because number one, when you save it, you need a digital notebook to organize all your notes and files, regardless of both personal life and work life. Pen and paper, I do not recommend. It's completely inefficient to kind of stay up to date with, and even when you have to find information. So when you use AI tools, all AI tools become more efficient when you pair them with a digital notebook. I highly recommend Notion. Because it's probably the best to save information into Notion and then retrieve it when you need it. It basically acts, there's a trend that came out almost 5 years ago. Jesus. This guy, Tiago Forte, pioneered the concept of what's called the second brain. And basically, when everyone had to move online, a lot of people were overwhelmed with unable to remember information. Organizing notes, especially from work, for example. Meeting notes was probably one of the biggest demands. So he pioneered a concept was called building a second brain, and it just means using some digital tool. Could be Notion, it could be, I don't want to recommend Evernote or OneNote or Google Docs, or even Apple Notes. I do not recommend those as digital note-taking tools. They're not the best for really building out a really good note-taking tool where you can find information, save it, organize it. Say, for example, whenever I have these meetings every week, I have a digital notebook that has all the notes. So when I'm like, oh, I have to do another presentation, instead of going, where are the slides, where are the links to give away for the giveaways, what's my YouTube channel link, everything is in right here, this little note right here. So when I start, I just pick it up, already find it, and I'm off to racing. So what takes me maybe 5 minutes of preparation for the meeting, where people are like, oh my God, I gotta get organized, I gotta go find this, I gotta go find that. So having a digital notebook basically acts like a digital flashcard so that you can store information quickly and retrieve it when you need it, most importantly. Especially when you come to digital or using AI, quickly take, if it's any information out from ChatGPT that's important, put it in a digital notebook so you can edit it, tweak it, use it, reference it in the future kind of thing. You don't want to be dependent on the search feature from ChatGPT where you're like, oh yeah, where's that one conversation that we talked about, blah, blah, blah. That's the worst way to try and use ChatGPT as like a note-taking or to save information. Not recommended. Next one, Google is dead officially. So if you want to find information efficiently, you need to be using Perplexity. I'm on the free plan, honestly. Unless you're like a researcher, or you do a lot of searches, you could go upgrade to their paid plan for $20. But I've just been using the free plan because I'll maybe Google less than 5-6 things a day, give or take. What Perplexity does, to actually go to it. It is probably what, so yes, this is a really key concept. A lot of tools have multiple features. For example, ChatGPT also does have a search the web feature. It also has like search Google Maps kind of like feature kind of thing. Anytime a tool tries to add more than one feature to its capabilities, it immediately becomes mediocre in its other capabilities. So, for example, like ChatGPT, yeah, it could create images, but it's pretty mediocre at creating images when compared to a dedicated tool, say, for example, like Midjourney, for example. There's no comparison between ChatGPT and Midjourney. Midjourney creates the best images, high quality. If you want to do logos, graphic design, see how your products will look like, even housing and real estate mock-ups. You could upload photos, pretty poor quality photos of like a real estate listing, and have Midjourney enhance it and make it look beautiful without having to ever do any editing in Photoshop, which is incredibly powerful. So you don't have to sit there and tweak Photoshop things to try and make it, or even hire a photographer to come out and take photos. You can take horrible quality photos, especially with just your iPhone. Doesn't even have to be picture perfect. Pop that into Midjourney and say you're a real estate photographer, and enhance this photo with better lighting, more cinematic and stuff like that, and it will create an AI generated photo that looks like the original, that will increase, because at the end of the day, the photos are really what's going to sell the property. And then you could take it a step farther. Then you could throw that into Runway. Runway is a tool that takes images, AI images, and animates them. Pretty much makes like a 3-second GIF animated. So the video that you're seeing in the background is completely AI generated. It is not real in any sense. But so the workflow, what people do is they'll create an image in Midjourney of a character, of a scene, of a logo, or whatever, and then they'll take that image and pop it into Runway, where they'll animate it and they'll create almost like movie trailers, basically. So these, and it's a great way to create, especially video that comes along too. So that's a great one. Now we get into like the AI tools. The only two AI tools that you're going to be using in and out most of the day is either ChatGPT, or if you do any programming or you want to create like business automation tools, Claude is probably the most sophisticated there too. But really, you're going to be spending what I preach more is tool mastery. Master one tool and all its capabilities, and it's more than enough than trying to hop around, either pay for more subscriptions or pay for other tools like I know there's Poe, for example, but Poe isn't the best as far as, yes, you get access to many different AI tools, but you don't get the custom GPTs, which is really the most powerful thing of ChatGPT is that feature right there. Passwords, it's just a great security 101 kind of thing. You definitely need a password manager to log in and out of just business applications, personal applications. A lot of people, I have clients that save their passwords in their phone, contacts, Apple Notes, for example, or they have them still written down. That is dangerous, not for being hacking, but the risk of those things being lost, and then you're locked out of your computer. So you need a password manager, allows you to just be online more efficiently without having to waste time at the login screens. We're going to skip that. Every video, social media content, your clients, or if you want more leads, there are only two ways to get leads. One is through paid ads. Facebook, Instagram, and Google are the top three to get paid ads, to get quality leads. You have to pay for leads if you really want to grow a business. Second is organic content. You won't get leads directly through or just posting what's called post and hope, just posting any type of content. Posting content is going to build your brand, because what customers are going to do is they're going to find you online, and then they're going to see if you're legit. The first thing they're going to do is either check your YouTube, and then your Instagram, and then most of them will also search your TikTok from there. And then they're going to judge you, your business, based on the content that they see there. They're going to check to see two things. One, are you posting helpful tips in that category or niche? Are you the expert in that industry? Or B, testimonials, case studies, wins, stuff that you've helped clients succeed in some transformation, for example. Those are the main two that they're going to stalk. Then they're going to make a judgment from there to see if they trust you online. Because if you're not online on social media or creating any social media content, to the customer, it's like, why are you not online? And then you immediately lose that sale to your competitors who are posting content consistently. Thinking about consistently, you have to be posting reels daily reels, minimum 1, ideally 2 to 3. Then second, YouTube content, some long form content, 5 to 10 minutes, usually between 1 to 2 times a week is enough from there. That's where you're going to get, so most of my clients, they'll binge my YouTube channel for like 5-7 hours of a lot of content that's on there. And then they'll hit me back up a couple weeks later saying, hey, do you still have that offer? I'd love to join your program, basically. And it's all because, so basically the video content is going to do the nurturing of the relationship that's going to eventually lead to the sale. So you need to have hours of content there. You could also do podcasts, I recommend too, but video is the number one consumed piece of content. As far as video editors, you could hire someone, definitely, but you need to be committed to posting every single week. CapCut is a great video editor just because it can add AI or what's called captions at the very end at the click of a button. It makes it very easy. It's about, I'd say like 95% correct as far as accurate translations, but you still go through and just double check everything's spelled right. It's not perfect, but it's probably the easiest as far as one click, add captions, create the video, because captions on reels, all your reels, vertical videos need to have captions. It will, because your social media content is judged on two things by the algorithm. The first thing the algorithm judges your content on is, does it stop the user from scrolling? If it doesn't stop the user from scrolling, then it gives it like a poor quality score, and it doesn't show it to more people. So the first thing is, does it stop them from scrolling? That's usually the first 3 seconds of your opening hook or your interest, for example. And then second is, how long do they stay and watch the entire video? All the platforms need, video content, and then they also need, their goal of every platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of those, is to keep the user on the platform. So they will rank your video and saying how well or how long did they stay till the very end. And if they stay till the very end, then it's going to boost it automatically and show it to more people. So if you're only getting a few views of video, those are the two criteria that you need to work on. And I'll show you how to use AI to do that. DaVinci is just another video editor. It's just completely free. TidyCal replaces Calendly just for managing your calendar. If you're using any of your email, if you're accessing any of your email through tabs on a browser, like Chrome tabs or stuff like that, not efficient. You need to be using like an app called Spark. Spark's completely free. We all have more than one email. It manages a lot of your emails without having to do login to different tabs. Canva. This presentation is created in Canva. So there's only two types of content. One is video. Second is photos, or especially for Facebook ads, and then also for creating webinars. If you sell a product, or if you sell a service, coach, consultants, service providers, and stuff like that, adding a webinar is exactly what this is. Adding a webinar is really going to help you close more sales more efficiently. So Canva is really good for any of that graphic design. If you want to write your own AI book, there are only two tools, technically three, but two tools that you really need. One is ChatGPT, and the second one is here, Otter. Otter is going to allow you to just talk to your phone or to your computer. It's going to record the audio and second, instantly transcribe what you write to text, so that you can take that text and pop it into ChatGPT, and then it can organize it for your book, for example. That's the fastest way because a lot of people just can't keep up with typing, for example, or they're scattered and just talking about many different topics. Hey, chapter 1 is this, chapter 2 is this. Otter's great because it's going to capture all of that, transcribe it to text, and then you could give it to ChatGPT to organize it, fix the grammar, not add stuff, so that you can write and publish your first book. Books are great lead magnets for your business. Let's actually go into that real quick. Just a quick side way. Value ladders. This is a little into the digital marketing side, but this is where books play. There we go. Every business needs a value ladder. If you're just selling one product or service, you're probably finding one, you don't have budget for ads. Second, two, it's very hard to get consistent sales. And then three, it's very hard. Sales are not consistent. So adding what's called a value ladder is really going to help there. Where basically, think of this as like the stairway of trust, that your customers are going to start their relationship with your business and then ascend from free to very high ticket, buying your products or services, for example. So lead magnet at the very bottom, this is the most important one, is lead magnets. There's two types. There's a free step right underneath this. The free step is your social media content. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that is just free on there. So that's your free. The lead magnet is, hey, I'm going to give you something of value in exchange for your email, your contact information, because most of your sales are going to be captured in the follow-up. So here's a great statistic from Grant Cardone, for example. If you only contact your customers once, your sales conversion is like a 2%. So meaning 2% of the 100 people that reach out to you, you only get 2% of sales. You can increase the amount of sales up to 80% as long as you continuously reach out, because what happens is most of your sales aren't going to be done within that first day or that first week. They're going to be done in the follow-up. And that follow-up is usually between 30 to 90 days, for example. So that's why it's really important to have an email automation, even text automation, especially for real estate. For real estate, there are tools. I actually recommend one for email automation and text automation, so that without you having to do anything of just, it automatically follows up with those leads every single week, adds more value, so that when the time is right for them, either it's a priority in their life or they have the disposable income to invest in your product or service, for example, then you're always at the top of the mind, for example. So you could recoup up to 80% of more sales within the 5th to 12th contact. So having an automation that continuously follows up with them is super important. Back to the value ladder real quick. So for example, the PDF guide, it's a lead magnet. There are only really two really good lead magnets to offer. One is some PDF all-encompassing guide, for example, like a PDF guide. And then second is a webinar, a masterclass, a webinar, or a 5-day challenge, which is just pretty much 5 days of video training. Those are all really good lead magnets to compress the time of building the relationship and trust with a prospect, so that they feel in marketing, they're doing three things. You're building the know, like, and trust check marks. And then once they reach those three check marks, then they feel comfortable with buying your product or services, for example. So having a webinars usually, that's why it's like, you look at this one, it's a 2-hour webinar, for example, a 2-hour training. But usually what happens is clients, they'll attend 1 to 2 of these. And then if it's the right fit for them, then they'll usually enroll in my program, for example. So, and you need to have your webinar or free training, especially for real estate too, every single week at the same time. Doesn't change. For example, and the reason why is like think of it like your favorite TV show. People they need roughly 2 weeks to change their schedule around to eventually commit to showing up once. And then once they show up once, if they need more information, want to still, because again, people need to consume about 5 to 7 hours of content before they know, like, and trust you, for example. Then they'll come back again. And then usually if it's a problem that you solve in their life, then they'll be ready to do a business with you. Back to the book, what I was talking about, right? Why writing a book is really helpful. That is the first tier of some low ticket products. So you'll see a lot of coaches, consultants, real estate people too. They'll write their own book or guide, and then they'll either put it on Amazon or they'll give it out for free as a great lead magnet, for example. It's a low ticket cost, something under usually $10 to $19. They're going to consume that and they're going to be like, wow, there's more information in this book than there is Googling, or you want your book to give them some type of quick win, for example, that helps them get closer to their end result or anything like that. Then the reason why you have 3 tiers in your business, we're going to get to my 4 marketing offers that every business needs to have. You need to have 3 different products at 3 different price points in order for you to generate more money per customer in a 1-year time frame that gives you more ammo to go buy either paid ads, or I'm just going to say paid ads, to go and get more content, basically. So usually the tiers is usually somewhere between 1 to $497 is like the first tier. Second tier is usually between $1,000 to $5,000, and then the third tier goes up between 5, 10, and up there. You need to have 3 different, basically a low ticket product, a mid ticket product, and a high ticket product in order for you to generate enough revenue that you can outspend your competition in your market, because everyone is in their own little market. You have competition, and the difference between customers coming to you versus your competitor is who is going to spend the most to acquire a customer, usually through paid ads. So the company, it's never about having the best product or about the best service. In marketing and business, it's whoever can bid or give enough, whoever could spend the most in paid ads will win more market share in every market or niche. It's not about the value of the product or how good your quality or service is. Whoever just could spend most in ads. So this is just going to give you more ammunition to stay profitable, and also so that you can spend more on ads to acquire new customers. So we'll go into 4 offers from there. So that was just real quick. 13 productivity tools, just basic computer literacy, how you touch a computer, because adding AI on top of that is just going to make life so much easier, way more effortless, and you're able to keep up with not just AI, but everything digital, because everything's in a digital world right now. Now we're going to talk about marketing, because before we get into AI and start dabbling with different AI tools, if you don't have the right, I like the analogy of the car. If you don't have the right car, you won't be able to take advantage of AI. So this right here is probably the most important slide, where the concept, the analogy is you need to have a car because as basically your marketing tool set up, because AI is like replacing the engine, for example. So let me go deeper into that. If you're a business and you don't have a website, you don't have social media, you don't have a CRM, and you don't have an email follow-up, the analogy is if I'm walking 400 miles from LA to like Vegas, for example, I'm using AI, I'm just going to walk a little bit faster. You're not going to see any real impact to your life or your business. You may just walk a little bit faster, work a little more productive. And so that's where it's like, we want to get a car. Second, if you're using outdated technology, you have a website on WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, you're using some AI website tool, you have a website, but you don't have a funnel, for example, or you've probably dabbled with paid ads. It probably didn't work out, and you're now burned and you don't want to do ads anymore, or you're posting content on social media and it's not branded, you're not consistent, you're just throwing up random stuff. That's equivalent to maybe having a bike and biking those 400 miles to Vegas, for example. If you start playing with ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or any of the other AI tools and stuff, you're really just going to pedal faster. You're not going to really see the significant ROI or the really life-changing. You're not going to get more leads, get more sales, and grow your business into the automated stage where the business runs completely autonomous without your intervention. So that's where you want a car. The car is having, number one, there's 4 marketing offers, just like the value ladder. There's 4, you need to have that value ladder set up for your business, and you're not just selling one product at one service. If you ever go to a dentist, for example, the dentist doesn't right off the bat say, hey, would you like a $5,000 veneer as their first product and their only thing that they're serving? The first thing that they bring you in for is, hey, some free X-ray and a teeth cleaning, for example. It's usually under $100. Then they go, oh, you know what? We found a couple root canals we need drilled. That's even more, $500 or something like that. Then the next visit, this is continuously over time. Then the last visit, you're like, you know what? Would you like to whiten your teeth? It's only an extra couple $100. What they're doing is they're very systematically adding more value to your life to improve the quality of your smile. But then they're also working their way from low ticket, mid ticket to eventually high ticket. Not every customer is going to ascend in that stairway, for example. Not every customer is going to, let's bring that right here. Not every customer is going to buy your mid tier and your high ticket. Some may just buy the book and that's it. They can only afford, for example. So it's a percentage, and it's some small percentage, basically. Some small percentage will buy your first product, some smaller percentage will buy your second tier, and some even smaller percentage will buy your high ticket services, for example. So for example, not everyone when they go to the dentist is going to buy those very expensive veneers and stuff like that, or even get their teeth whitened, for example. They just came in for the teeth cleaning and that was enough for them. But having those additional products allows you to generate more revenue per customer in one average lifetime, or basically 1 year period, so that you could spend more on ads. You need to have an ad budget in order for you to grow your business consistently. I'll actually show you my ads, for example. I'm running Facebook ads right now. Oh God, that's so beautiful. Nice. This is awesome. Let's actually average this out. Let's look at the date range. This is a Facebook ad campaign. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's been running for just 2 days, basically without me having to go out, because the alternative, if you're not running paid ads, you're relying on either referrals, cold calling, or networking to grow your business. Those are the 3 worst ways to consistently grow your business. It's inconsistent. It's not predictable. It's a waste of time and energy for a very low ROI, and it doesn't always result in a sale consistently. So in today's world, you need to be running paid ads in order to grow your business. I'll give you an example of a barbershop that I took on as a client a year ago. Barbershop was getting maybe 8 to 10 leads a month through organic Google searching, for example. As soon as we spent $1,000 a month on ads are not cheap, that's why you need to have an ad budget. He spent $1,000 on ads and went from getting 8 leads a month to 300 leads a month. Imagine if you got 300 leads in 1 month time, what that would do to your business. It would change it. So that's why and he didn't have to cold call. He didn't have to, we spent maybe 2 hours of investment to set up the ads, and now they run every month. He spends X amount on Google. Automatically, those leads come in every single day. So I'll even show you mine. For example, this ad, this is beautiful. This is your email list that you need to be building, because not everyone is going to buy today. So everyone that gets my free lead magnet, so I'm running an ad that's exactly for this free gift. There's 2 lead magnets that you need to offer, either a free webinar or a free guide are the main 2, for example. ChatGPT can help you write it. And so you're running paid ads. I'm getting, oh, so beautiful, 4% conversion. For context, the quality of ads, maybe a 2% conversion is like horrible. If you could get above 3%, even 4% is great as far as the ROI, but then also the cost per click is under $1. So I'm really maximizing the value because Facebook will judge your ad, and if it's really good and valuable, people are actually engaging with it. It will show it to more people at a cheaper cost. If it's a horrible ad that really just repulses people, it's really annoying on the platform, for example, they're going to charge you more for that ad to run it because it's creating a poor experience for the customer, for example. So Facebook actually rewards you. Oh, that's so nice. So every day I get about 35, 27. So on the good days, I'll get about 20 leads a day completely on autopilot. I don't have to lift a finger. It completely happens 24/7. These are leads that are coming in. They're automatically getting an email. They're getting a 90-day email sequence that's going to build value, add more, and then pitch. Basically, a lot of it is inviting them to a masterclass or a webinar, exactly what this is. So that's a great way to bring leads in without me having to cold call. They'll usually attend the webinars. Saturdays are the most valuable one. And then they'll eventually do that. So we have paid ads, social media, creating social content consistently. You have a funnel, that's the lead magnet, the website. You have 4 offers, a lead magnet, a low ticket, a mid ticket, and a high ticket offer. You have email automation. So just without using AI, you need to have these right tools in place, using the right tools. Not like a Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, or WordPress, for example. Then when you add AI to it, it's equivalent to basically engine swapping. It's going to take your engine and go from a regular car to now a very high performance car. And you're going to get more leads faster, easier, and increase more sales without you having to do extra work. It's like adding gasoline. AI is not going to do the work for you. It's not going to improve the car if you don't have a car, as the analogy. So that's why most people need to get a car first, using the right marketing tools, website, funnel, automation, paid ads, CRM, stuff like that. Let's talk about CRM real quick. Let's go ClickUp, CRM. You need to have a CRM. A CRM is a customer relationship management system, because when leads come in, not everyone is going to buy, but you need to track them so that you can follow up to see how many were new, how many have bought within the last 30 days, how many have not bought, so that you could reach out to them. This applies especially for real estate. I have a CRM. There's a great ClickUp template I get hit up for I have a couple real estate CRM tutorials on YouTube, and so I get a lot of real estate agents contacting me for this template. For example, this is completely free on ClickUp. I'm going to put this in the chat just because this is what's called your sales pipeline. When a lead reaches out to you, you're going to save their contact information as a lead or prospect, and then you're going to work through. Every business has a different sales cycle. For example, some may have a demo, a proposal, and then they'll close, for example. Some may have a follow-up and then a pitch, for example. So you need to follow up with people at different stages, and a CRM is just going to help you stay organized with all your sales. And then it's also a great task manager. If you have a team, you need to be using ClickUp as a task manager for your business so that you can operate. So now let's start getting into AI. That's a lot of the marketing kind of thing. Actually, just real quickly, best website tool. There's lead pages for building websites without having to write code. Second is ClickFunnels. They all do the same thing, basically. Exact same thing, basically. Help you build a funnel, not a website. A funnel where basically, let's go over the anatomy of a funnel just real quickly. Yeah, this is right here. This is a funnel. When your customer comes to your website, you need to have these 3 elements on your website in order for you to turn visitors, people that just visit your website, into leads, where they give you their contact information to either buy your product or service, for example. If you don't have these, you'll basically have what's called a 1% website conversion. Images. Let's go over just like real quick what that is. Ah, I love this image. This is such a good image. There are a few metrics to see how well your marketing is performing. A lot of people make the mistake is they'll build a website and then they'll never touch it for the next 2 or 3 years. Where basically, yeah, let's just do this. Cool. I really want that image. Yeah, they'll usually just build a website and then never update it ever, basically, which is horrible. When you hire a digital marketing agency or you hire someone to do digital marketing in your business, the first thing that they're going to do is check what's called conversion rate. Don't be scared. It's just a score, a percentage that says, hey, if 500 people go to your website and only 20 people fill out the form on your website to contact them where they're interested in your product or service, if you take, I think it's like 20 divided by 500, it's a 4%. The tools do the score automatically, so you never have to do math, but you need to know the score of your website so that you can what's called A/B testing. You can test you're going to test only three things. You're going to test the copy, which is the text. ChatGPT is going to give you the text to put on the website to get someone to go, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm looking for. How do I sign up? Or it's going to be this is the video sales letter. You need to have a video sales letter on your website in order for you to sell, because your customers are going to your website and you only have 5 seconds to capture their attention in order to turn them from a visitor to a lead, for example. Because a lot of people, I get so much where they're like, I have a website, I get visitors, but no one's signing up. No one's buying my product. No one's filling out the form. Why? And the reason why is, one, you need to have a tool, ClickFunnels or Lead Pages, or even there's another one, Go High Level. They all do the exact same thing. They allow you to build a website without having to write a single piece of code. But they're going to give you a score. These tools automatically tell you your conversion score so that you can improve it. So for context, let's go to Lead Pages. Let's go to mine, for example. I'll show you my example. So my website, if you go and you sign up for my lead magnet, if I have just a regular website, I'll barely get a 2% conversion. 2%. I can even actually show you. When people go to my main website, 3%. Nice. Only 3% of the traffic. So 3,993 people have visited my homepage of my website. Only 126 of them said, yeah, I'm interested. That's what I'm looking for. And they fill out the form, they sign up, or they purchase, for example. So that's a 3% score. That's really good for like cold traffic. People that don't know about you, they're just came across your website, they went to your webinar, they got your lead magnet, and they're going to go check your website out. That's decent, 3%. Anything under 3% is like, wow, you need to change your website. Because think of that, 300 people. Imagine if you just improve the score, you can generate more revenue just by updating your website. So this is a lead magnet. That's level 2, where basically let's take, this is the opt-in. So it's the very first one. So I'm running paid traffic to this landing page. It's actually this page right here. This is a funnel. Notice how it doesn't scroll farther. Notice how there's no buttons at the very top. And notice that the only thing to do is fill out this form. Only one action. So if you have more than one link, more than a bunch of like about me, check out our locations, look at our history. If you have all of those links and stuff at your website, think of every link like a different door that when the customer comes to your landing page, when they see the different doors, they get confused and then they bounce. They just leave. They just go back to Google or they'll go back to surfing the web. So just by having a lead magnet and saying, hey, do you want a free guide? Person that just came to my website. Now I get so 113 people went to that landing page. 38 of them said, yes, give me that landing page. I'll give you my email if you send me that free guide. So that's a 34%. So I could generate more revenue without having to pay more for ads or create more social media content, just by fixing my landing page or my website and turning it into a funnel. I could just convert more traffic effortlessly. And what's on there? Let's go through the 3 elements on every landing page that needs to have. For example, number 1, you need to have a really compelling hook that captures their attention. Most people are business owners that are coming to this landing page where they're saying, hey, are you struggling to get a constant flow of customers? The customer, when they come to this page, are like, wow, yes, I actually am. How did you know? It's almost like you read my mind. And then they're like, you have to have one big compelling promise or statement saying, hey, getting people to your website and turning them into happy paying customers is what they do best. Ooh, awesome. I want that, for example. And then the only thing to do is to fill out this form, for example. Enter your name, enter your email, and just fill out the form. They're not asking for phone number. They're not asking for first name. They're just saying, hey, enter your email. Super easy. And then this is probably the most important thing: having a video sales letter on your landing page. Some video, it's usually between less than 2 minutes, that talks about who you are, what you do, testimonies, how you can help them solve their problem, and then a call to action to be like how to get started. Having these elements on your this is just what's called the top of the fold. So before you scroll down, this is the first thing that they see, because most customers, they're not going to read your entire website. They're just going to look for the answer on the very landing page and just see, okay, cool, this is what I'm looking for. I'm in the right place. Watch the video. Now they know, like, and trust. It's way more trustworthy than having a website with just random images, for example. So that is websites. Let's see. So website tool, that's that. Email, I recommend Klaviyo. Klaviyo, if you want text messaging for your automation, definitely use Klaviyo. If you just want email, there's one called Kit. They changed their name. They're called Kit. Super easy to set up an email automation tool just using Kit, and they're super cheap too. So those are really powerful. CRM, we talked about ClickUp. So these are just using just the most updated, easy to use tools. Because if you're using outdated tools like Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, you don't have a CRM, you don't have email automation tools and stuff like that, adding AI is not going to impact your business in any significant way. So you need to have those tools as the foundation. That's basically what's called a lead acquisition system. And then you can add AI to improve the offer, improve the copy, write the sales copy, write the copy for the ads and stuff. When I say copy, I just mean the text on the page, like the text on the website. So let's look at your competition. AI or HubSpot, they create a CRM for companies. They did a survey earlier this year. Wow, this is almost a year old already. This is probably already outdated, which is wild because AI has changed so much. They surveyed a bunch of startups and said, hey, startups, how are you using AI in your business to stay competitive? So they looked across 4 different departments. Every business is these main 4. You do your sales, your marketing, your operations, or your customer success, for example. They looked at them, and each team member in that, say for example in sales or marketing, they're not just using one AI tool. They have a suite of about 5 to 10 tools of really, and notice how there's no Microsoft products here. So basically they're using these AI tools for every employee so that they can work without having to hire additional people. So they can have a small lean team that outputs more productivity and work for the company effortlessly without having to hire additional people, for example. So we've got ChatGPT. Second Brain is an internal chat bot. So if you have, if you're a manager, for example, and you have a team that keeps bugging you about questions, or they keep asking HR questions for what's our standard operating procedure for this? What's our return policy for this? Who do we reach out that's in charge of XYZ, for example? A lot of those questions, can be solved or automated using a custom chatbot that's not ChatGPT. This one's called Second Brain. Second Brain AI. It's just an outside party tool. Let's see. I want the chatbot. They may not be around, which is interesting. They may not be around anymore. Wow. This is our, oh no, Second Brain. FYI. I think it's this one. Yeah, because I've used them before. This is basically what it is. Second Brain allows you to create a little chatbot. If we play this, very easy to create. Basically, what it allows, say a little chatbot on the right hand side. All right, let's see. Actually, let's go to here. Nice. Creates a little chatbot that allows you. There we go. Pause. That allows you. Pause the video. There we go. Not every ChatGPT or AI, they're all missing something. It's called local knowledge. Knowledge about your business, about your products, about your operations, about your team members, about how you do business, about your products and services, your prices, stuff like that. All ChatGPT and all AI bots are missing that information. So they're not perfect, for example. So having a chatbot, and we'll get into chatbots a little later, chatbot for your business to either, there's two types. One is answering questions internally for your team, and the second is externally for your customers. So if your customer comes to your website and you have a few different products, let's just go to that real quick, and you have a few different products that you offer, for example, having an AI chatbot on your website that customers can chat with in real time. So it's almost like having an employee that's available 24/7, 365, never takes a day off for being sick, and it can answer any question that the customer has and then direct them to the right product or service. For example, like, what are your top listings that you have today? Oh, it already knows all your listings and all your properties and all the details of all the properties. So it could actually act as a 24/7 chat concierge for customers when they come to your website, instead of looking at all the pictures for like I forgot what for the real estate listing, for example. They could just chat almost they're chatting with a real person, and it knows, hey, how much square footage of that? What's the asking price of it? What's the address of it? Hey, can I see photos of it? Do you have a video walkthrough? Or whatever questions that they have, this little chatbot will know everything about your business, your products and services, and it could answer it in real time, 24/7. It could do it on your website, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on WhatsApp, for example. So it could chat in all of those 4 channels without you having to respond to every single message. Such a hack. So there's 2 chatbots you're going to have, one externally for new customers, and then second is for existing customers. I just deployed this the other day. I had an Airbnb. They own a couple Airbnb properties, and they get bombarded with so many questions from the customers of like, what's the Wi-Fi password? How do we get into the back door? Hey, where's the best restaurant in our area? Hey, where can we find the nearest gas station? Whatever. They have like so many questions about the property, for example, when they actually book on an Airbnb. So we deployed a chatbot that knows everything about the, because usually when you go to Airbnbs, they give you some like book, and you got to flip through the book to like learn about the property, about the access, the rules, even about, again, the Wi-Fi password is the most common question that they have, for example. And so we created chatbots for each of the actually we created one for all the properties, so it knows everything. So now they don't have to, they went from going from, I think it was like 20 hours a week of answering questions and email and text, going back and forth, and even through the app to try and answer questions for their properties. They compressed that to 0. From 20 hours of work to now 0 by just deploying this little chatbot that knows everything about the properties that customers can now chat with, 24/7 concierge. So that's the second chatbot that you usually have, is something for existing customers, and then also one for your team, where basically for your team, if you have questions about one of my clients, I'm so happy, just text me, and he's going Mac shopping. Oh, that makes me so excited. He's the barbershop that we added Google ads that went from 8 leads a month to 300 leads a month just by adding Google ads. And now he wants to get more computer literacy. And so he's now invested in a complete Mac setup with second screen. Oh my God, he's going to make more money. Oh, Jesus. So these things really just make your life easier at the end of the day. So chatbots are really powerful. So startups, all companies are now, and this is going to be the trend. I wrote this on LinkedIn. This is going to be the trend for 2025. Companies and all businesses are going to hire more AI chatbots that are tailored to their business than new employees, because it's cheaper, faster, easier to create them, to also customize them, and then also to manage them. And they're available 24/7, 365, and they cost a fraction of what it is to cost a full-time employee to do work. These chatbots don't do work. They just answer questions that are specific to your business. So every business is going to do two things. One, all their employees are going to be trained on AI tools like this. And then second, they're going to employ AI chatbots in their business, both for website and lead generation. And second is for internal, for teams. And then third is going to be for customer support. And they're going to now stay productive, stay profitable without having to hire additional employees or workforce, basically. That's all what these things do. So these are the top 10 tools. This is already a year old, which is wild. You're seeing companies, the employees are using Otter, we mentioned before, internal chatbots, ChatGPT, Jasper. Jasper's one for if you do copywriting or you create content for your business. Yes, ChatGPT, remember the main takeaway is that ChatGPT can write sales copy, but it's not the best. That's why it's really important to know what is the best AI tool for whatever task or project that you're working on, so that you can get a better result. Because if I use Jasper's an AI tool that's specifically for writing marketing. Could be content, could be blog articles, it could be social media posts, it could be property descriptions for real estate, for example. Jasper is going to do a way better job at writing that text, because in a much easier, they have really nice fill out the form kind of prompts kind of thing. So like they'll create video scripts. So yeah, ChatGPT can, even this is for e-commerce, which is real nice. So ChatGPT can do that, but you're going to have a much better, faster time for your marketing team to use Jasper to create any type of marketing content. So they're using Jasper. Grammarly is a great popular one we all use. ClickUp. ClickUp is super important as a task manager for your entire organization. If you manage a team and you want to know, hey, what is everyone working on? What projects are we working on? Where are the customers in the pipeline? What goals are we going to finish this quarter, for example? ClickUp is a task manager also that allows you to organize all your employees' work, so that it's really good for real estate. For example, if you're a broker and you have a bunch of real estate agents, you want to know what properties they're working on, how many sales have they done every month, what are they working on currently, how many leads, how many expected sales are they going to be expected to close this quarter, for example. ClickUp is really powerful. It's only $10 a month, which is super affordable. So companies are using that because remember, we talked about having a personal task manager. I recommend TickTick. Every company in business needs to have a task manager. I took on a client that was doing warehouse sales. They're doing about 1 to 2 million a year in wholesale, for example, but they never had a CRM. So they were losing sales because people were just not being responded to. Some people, when they went sick, they never followed up or left their contacts of customers, for example. So sales was falling through the crack. So what we did was we implemented ClickUp, and they immediately went from, I think, 1 to 2 million to now 5 million a year, and just recouping those extra, just having a central task manager for your business allowed them to generate that much more money without having to do any extra things. So having the right tools for your business is paramount. We went through the whole marketing thing. Now we can spend the rest of the time going into ChatGPT kind of stuff, because that's the foundation. That's the pyramid, basically. That's why most people are just dabbling with ChatGPT, and maybe they're working a little bit faster, but they're not really seeing, they're not making more money. Their business isn't growing, and they're basically, their life hasn't changed for the last year. Exactly. And the reason why is you need to have this foundation. You need to be using the right productivity tools, just how you touch a computer and using the right software. Then for your business, you need to have a marketing system, proper website, funnels, CRM, email automation. Then you can add the automation where basically leads come in automatically through paid ads. They're automatically nurtured over the next 90 days, for example, and you have everything nicely managed in a CRM where you're able to increase the volume of clients and follow up with them. Now you could add AI to that. Now you will guaranteed to make more money by basically getting more leads, increasing your sales, and working leaner without having to do extra work. That's the promise of AI. AI is not going to do the work. It's just going to streamline and automate what you have already, for example. So quick thing about 101 ChatGPT, every chatbot, you're going to do what's called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is just how you talk to these AI chatbots. I'm just going to focus on three: ChatGPT plus, Claude, and Perplexity. Those are really the only three you need to master. When you talk with the chatbot, they need a lot of information. They need a lot of context to know what are you looking for as the answer, because they have their model, but they don't know everything, for example. So this is the basic structure of a prompt. Every prompt or instruction that you give the chatbot, usually you're going to get a better quality answer by structuring the text that you put in your question in this format. Number one, you're saying, hey, ChatGPT, act as some role, some employee or intern. It could be marketing, copywriter. Hey, ChatGPT, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're an analyst, you're a therapist, you're a chief financial officer, you're a business coach. Give it some role. By giving it a role, then it's going to behave completely different and give you all this does is give you a much higher quality, better answer. Second is breaking down what you ask of it into a small task. For example, I wouldn't have ChatGPT write me a blog article, for example. I would focus more on either the outline or a paragraph, for example. So people work with ChatGPT or AI bots and they give it too big of a task. And then what happens is that the answer it repeats itself. It's not, it's very generic and high level kind of thing. You get a pretty generic answer out of it. So breaking it down to small tasks is how you're going to get a better quality output. And then the format. Hey, ChatGPT, so you can see here, the task: headline, write an essay, write a book outline, write an email, give me a summary. And then you're going to say, hey, what do you want out? Some people, when they write emails, for example, or if you write a newsletter, you have a certain style, you have a certain format. If you create social media content and you write your scripts, hook, some valuable tip, and then a call to action, for example, that's a framework, that's a format. Even when you write emails, saying things in a certain style, that's giving ChatGPT examples of what you want is how ChatGPT is going to give you a much better answer or quality. So now let's actually go into a couple prompts for business related that we can now start using ChatGPT to really start using. So because this is more business related, let's go. I have a note here. There it is right here. Perfect. So now we're going to get through some ChatGPT business scenarios that you can start using ChatGPT in your business to start growing. So number one is creating a full course in minutes. Creating courses is a very laborious process. You would have to, I'm going to move, actually we're just going to open a new tab and bring up ChatGPT. So now we could get into some really cool prompts saying, hey, ChatGPT, create a complete outline for a topic. Let's say I am a fitness instructor for men in their 20s, which I am definitely not. Include module titles, let's say, and actually men in their 50s and they want to lose weight because they have a office lifestyle. So they work at like a 9 to 5. They work in a cubicle or office or something like that. So they're like, hey, I'm 50. No. And I'm like, I want to lose weight. So we're saying, okay, create the course. You're a fitness instructor. Include module titles, lesson details, and actionable takeaways for each section. So what ChatGPT does is it allows you to go from a blank page to something to work with really fast. Because if I were to try and Google and research and try and think of what should the outline be, basically now I got a really good outline. So it's like, great, module 1, we're going to understand your body in your 50s. Second, we're going to now, second module, we're going to talk about nutrition. That's great. Third is physical activity. What should exercises you should be doing? 4 is adapting to the office lifestyle. Hey, if you work a 9 to 5, how should you be incorporating breaks and stuff like that? Mindset and motivation. Man, I completely didn't think about that, but that's definitely something we should probably add to the program. And then module and lifestyle. Now remember, when you're working with ChatGPT, there are 3 steps that you're going to be doing. Step number 1 is whatever answer that comes out, you're looking for good enough. You're not looking for perfect. Chasing perfect and trying to get the whole thing to ChatGPT to try and give you the whole outline in one go kind of thing is not the best way to use ChatGPT. You want to treat ChatGPT and all these AI tools like you just hired a college intern for your business and it's the first day of working with you as a personal assistant. That's the best way to treat these tools. And then remember, so I'm like, yeah, let's say that's good enough. I'm like, this is good enough. The second thing that you need to do once it's like good enough is immediately take it out of ChatGPT. So that's where your digital notebook, I'm just gonna use the same page right here. So I have my digital notebook in Notion. You could use Google Docs, you could use Evernote, you could use Apple Notes, but I highly recommend Notion because it's really easy to move to save information. Basically, it's going to act as your digital brain. I'm going to say, yeah, that's good enough. I'm not looking for it because remember, we want it to work in small tasks. I'm not going to have it write the whole program. I just want to take that information out. Great. Now I got my outline. Now I'm going to go back and forth to refine it. That's the next step after you take it out. So I would say, yeah, this chapter 1, I really like. I'm going to copy this, go back to ChatGPT. And now I like using what's called the colon technique, where basically you give it a task and then you feed it some information. So the task that you give it is like, okay, now write me the first module lessons. I want the lessons. I want the script. I want the slides. I want what else? That's pretty good right there. And the slides, for example, colon. So I'm just adding, so I'm giving it a command. And then I'm giving it a colon, and then I'm going to paste all that information. So this is just pasting that first chapter stuff. So now I'm going to go back and forth between ChatGPT and it says like, all right, lesson number 1, we're going to talk, here's the slide title. Great. I'm not going to have ChatGPT create the graphics because remember, we want to use some really good tools like Canva is the best tool. So, and then I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. I could even ask it, for example, to create a image for slide 1. So now I'm working back and forth in one chat history. I was still writing. Okay. There we go. I'm going to say, hey, create me an image for it. We're going to talk about images real quick too, because actually images is really cool. Great. It gave me everything from lesson 1 in a more detailed kind of thing. So I'm like, yep, those are the slides that I want. I'm just going to take that, go back to my digital notebook right here. And now I'm just going to save this right here. Great. Now, and the reason why is your notebook's going to be very easy. So now I'm creating a course. Courses you could create, courses are great things to sell, especially for whatever, any industry, for example. And now we created an image, create an image for slide 1. It's not the best. It's good enough. ChatGPT can now do text, which is weird, kind of thing. Let me show you something you could do with images that's really nice, really neat. Draw me a image of a dog with a hat with a red feather in the hat. So it's going to create me an image. This is really cool because you could edit the images, which is really nice. Now, the thing with images, let's talk about images. Creating images from ChatGPT or AI, if I ask it to draw me this thing, this whatever prompt again, every image that you generate is going to be completely different. And even modifying it, it's going to make it completely different. These AI tools have a problem, what's called image continuity. So if you have a character in a scene and you want the same character in another scene, it's going to generate a whole different character and stuff like that. But here's something cool in ChatGPT, that you can edit images. So if I click on an image, I'm now in ChatGPT's image editor. And let's say, for example, there's a tool right here called Select. Let's say I want to change the color of the feather to yellow. I'm like, everything else I like is great, but let's change the image. So I'm going to click on the Select. I can now, it's almost like a brush. You want to select more than the area that you want to have changed, for example. So I'm going to select the whole feather, and then now you get a little section right here that says, oh, what would you like to do to that edit section? I want you to change the color of the feather to yellow. This is really helpful because then I don't have to recreate another image. If I ask it to do that in like the regular prompt, it's going to create a whole different dog, whole different image. It's going to just start completely over from scratch kind of thing. So this is really helpful if you want to just change or modify any of the images in ChatGPT. Nice. And now I got same dog, same hat, but now an image changing his feather. Don't have to do Photoshop, don't have to do any editing. So this is a great way of editing photos in ChatGPT, which is super nice. So there's our first image. There's our second image, and we can download him. So creating images is one. We did creating a course is two. Let me bring up another one. So writing an entire book. We all want to write our own book. Publishing it, especially, is great for business. It's also great for marketing. It's a really valuable thing. It's also great for lead generation on Google, or pretty much, for Amazon, for example. So I'm going to take this prompt, pop it into ChatGPT, create a new chat. Hey, ChatGPT, you don't have to name it, but I would actually prompt it, remember a role. You are a best-selling author. You can also put like in the style of, the only one that's coming to mind is let's do George Orwell. Of George Orwell. Write me a book on a topic. How to improve your health holistically. I have horrible spelling. Include 5 chapters with subtitles, actionable advice for each section, and a memorable analogy. Analogies are really good for understanding concepts and stuff like that. So again, what we're doing, we're basically trying to go from a blank page to something to work with faster. That's all. I'm not going to have it write the whole like book perfectly, but it's like, let's work on the outline. What things should I put? Table of contents. Because then I'm like, remember, is this 80% good enough? Yeah, that's good enough. I'm going to take this, copy it, even wrote some of the chapter 1, actionable advice, nice, a memorable analogy. I like that. So writing me chapter 2, I'm just going to take chapter 1, for example. Because remember, I'm looking for good enough. If it's not good enough, I would go back to my original prompt, click the edit, and then start adding more instructions, for example. So then I get a little bit closer to what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for perfect at the end of the day, but 80% good enough. I could take that out and I could put that into my digital notebook to go and edit, for example. This is where another tool is really helpful, because again, Otter, because typing, so any any image and any text that's generated from any AI tool is plagiarized. So if I'm writing a book, I'm not going to have ChatGPT write me the book or get information out. You want to use ChatGPT kind of like an editor. You want to have it clean up the text or stuff that you're working on, for example. So that's where the tool Otter AI comes in. Otter is going to allow you to just open up your phone and just talk for the next 30 minutes or to the next hour, for example, and just brain dump. Hey, chapter 1 should be about XYZ. It should also include this topic and this tip, for example, blah, 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 blah. Then Otter is going to transcribe this to text, give you a nice little text paragraph. I just canceled my account yesterday because I don't need it. It's going to give you a nice little text that you then could give to ChatGPT to then clean up, to say, hey, take this text and clean it up for the first chapter of my book, for example, colon, and then I would paste whatever text that I had from Otter, for example. Because now here's the most important thing. You want to give information, examples and stuff to ChatGPT so that you're not relying on ChatGPT to generate text. Because if it generates text from its memory, it's going to be plagiarized. It's going to be, it won't pass any tool for plagiarism. So this is really helpful for, let's open up a new chat and let's do a marketing example. Say, for example, I have a fitness business. I'm really into health and fitness, for example. So say I have a fitness business. Actually, let's do fitness. It's easier. So say I have a fitness business and I know my competitors. So say my competitor is Fit Body Boot Camp is one of my competitors. It could be any website, could be any business, could be any industry or niche, basically. But let's say I'm like, I want a website that's really good, really well, that has a lot of good sales copy. I'm not going to have ChatGPT kind of like create a website from scratch for my business, for example. Rather, I'm going to find my competitor's website because they've spent thousands of dollars and months of A/B testing to put the words on the landing page that actually resonates with the ideal client. Like all of these words right here, they've A/B tested as marketers so that it increases the conversion for people going to their website and signing up. So you're going to I would highly recommend just copying the whole page, for example. Yep, copy. And now I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, you are a copywriter. Copywriters are the people that write the text for your promotion, for your ads, for your website, for your products or services. And they write the right words so that customers go, this is for me, and they buy it. A lot of marketing is writing the right, what's called copy. So you're a copywriter for my fitness business. This is my competitor's website sales copy. Use it to give me an ideal customer profile, demographic, age, pain points, package, solution, price. Because I want to know, in marketing, I want to know who's their demographic, who's their ideal customer, who are they targeting, because your business, every product or service needs to be very specific to one specific avatar or customer, for example. So, and then I'm like, hey, I want to know that ideal customer profile, and then here's their website. Here's the text on their website. Create one for me that is just as good, and paste that whole website. So we just pasted all their texts from their website. Remember, this is the header. These are all the sections and stuff. So now I press enter. What I'm doing is I'm not asking ChatGPT to say, hey, here's my business, who is my ideal customer, and hey, ChatGPT, I want you to create a website copy for my business and stuff. You're going to get a very generic, mediocre answer. So that's why what we're doing is we're giving ChatGPT examples and then having ChatGPT use those examples for your business. That's where now this answer that I'll get right here is like perfect. They target people between women between 25 and 45. Their income level is middle class to upper. Their location is urban and suburban areas with easy access to fitness facilities. Their lifestyle is busy professionals, parents, individuals balancing career, families, and personal goals, for example. That's who I should be targeting in my business if I want to take competitors or take market share from my competitor. Knowing your customer is really helpful. Now, it's like, why are they in business? Why are people buying their product or service? What pain point is that business solving? Because you need to know what pain point that customer or that business is solving so you can match that for yours. So basically, when you talk to a customer and you're like, hey, do you have a lack of time that's preventing you to go to long, or basically, are long gym sessions not what you're looking for? Are you frustrated with stagnant weight? Are you feeling self-conscious and about your appearance and physical fitness? Do you not have accountability? Don't know what workouts to do? Don't have a clear diet plan? You're probably going to the gym, but you're not getting personalized attention, and those generic gym memberships are really not helping you, for example. Talking about the pain points makes your customers go, oh my God, I've really been struggling with this. How do you know? This is really what I want to. They're all looking for some transformation. Every business transforms your customers and improves their either health, wealth, or relationships. Every business. So knowing the pain points allows you to put that into your marketing copy, for example. And then we got their package solution. Hey, we've got quick and effective workouts. Now we're getting into what products and services should I offer if I was to enter this market, for example. Oh, I should probably offer personal accountability, expert coaching. Awesome. And then, pricing. What should I price my products or services? This was all just by taking the copy from one of my competitors, just one. So if I added a few more, this will get a little bit more accurate. But this is what the answers that I'm getting is way better than if I went to ChatGPT and said, what should my pricing be? Who should my ideal customer is? I'm thinking about starting a fitness business that targets this demographic. What should I say on the website? So the best way to use ChatGPT and AI tools is to feed it examples that you can't find in its memory. So it's like, cool, I got my pricing. I know also the sales copy for the website. So my website's going to say on my landing page, discover the ultimate fitness solution. Now, here's the thing with ChatGPT. Is it uses words that people don't really use in their everything in marketing should be simplified to like a third grade reading level. It just makes it very easy to understand. So we're gonna actually change that, for example. But now I got the text to put on my website. I'm not going to have ChatGPT write me a website, or I'm not going to use any AI website building tool. Those things are just trash, honestly. Remember, we're using our best tools. So now I could use lead pages, or if I use ClickFunnels, or if I use Go High Level. Those are really the only 3 website tools that you should use to build your website, because there's no coding. There's no complicated kind of thing. Everything is very drag and drop and very easy to build. So now we can actually probably go to my website. So now I could build my website. I'm just going to duplicate this one. Test, demo. The reason why we're using these tools is because I don't have to hire a developer. I don't have to hire a marketing agency. I could be like, great, this is what I'm looking for. ChatGPT gave me the text. I'm going to say, cool, I'm going to copy this. And I'm just going to now start copy pasting, adding this to my website and organizing it because there's no coding. And then I click publish. And now I could publish and update my website because now my website will convert higher because it has better text. This is the copywriting. Most people are going to get the most ROI Now we've added AI to our website basically by writing better copy. And by writing better copy, this is going to connect with customers better than if I wrote it from scratch, for example. Now here's the most important thing that we're now going to get into a little advanced stuff with ChatGPT. This is a conversation that I've had with ChatGPT about my business that I want to start. Those are my ideal customers, the pain points, solution, pricing, website copy. That's a lot of information personalized to my business. If I want to continue this chat or continue to talk about other different things, for example, now this is where the most powerful thing is creating custom GPTs. So here, custom GPTs, this is the most important thing. Let's go to this slide right here. Custom GPTs. ChatGPT has its own model, has its own knowledge, but it's missing, remember that I call it local knowledge about your business, your products, your services, your website copy, who's your ideal customer. It doesn't know all of that right off the gate. So that's where creating a custom GPT. Now we can create, which makes it super powerful, where this is only in the paid plan. So if I click create, and now there's two ways to create a custom GPT. You can fill out the form on the tab that says configure. You could fill this out manually, or I could use create, and I could say, we'll go into 3 different custom GPTs that you need to add for your business. You are a business coach for my fitness business to help me with strategy and marketing, for example. I'm just going to do it very generic. So what we're doing here is we're chatting with ChatGPT. And what ChatGPT is going to do is on the next tab, it's kind of like, great. It's going to ask me 2 more questions, like give it a name and give it an image. We're going to say, yeah, that's a good name. Give it an image. It's going to create just a little logo for it real quick. Nice. Great. It's got an image. That's good enough. All it did on the next tab, it just filled out this form. That's all it did, basically. You could fill this out if you want to, if you're, or you use ChatGPT. Hey, it's a fitness business strategist. You do fitness business coaching and you provide strategy for marketing advice. Here's the most important part right here. This instructions, this is like the brain of ChatGPT, and now I could paste all the details about the business, everything we just generated, the customer profile, the pain points, the packaging, my pricing, my website copy, for example. Now this little think of ChatGPT, they call them agents, or basically I call them like college interns. Basically, these are little consultants, basically. Now this little chatbot knows everything about my business. And if I had files, this is really cool. If I had files like PDF files, books, if I had a couple fitness books, for example, that was real specific to my business or my competitors, I could upload those entire books, files, documents in here. So we're just adding to the brain of GPT. So now we got a little custom GPT. If I click create, it's going to only be for me. This is where you want to start creating. This is what you want to start for your business. The first takeaway is creating these custom GPTs for your business, because now on the left hand side, you can see I have a ton of little chatbots. These are like an army of consultants that allow you. All it does is it allows you to make better decisions or to automate your work, for example. So now I have a fitness business strategist. It knows my customer profile, all the website, the copy. It knows everything in it. So now when I'm like, the most important thing is how do I get sales? Before you get sales, you need leads. And in order to get leads, you need a lead magnet. So what are 5 lead magnets? I want 5 PDF guide book titles and subtitles. And then I also want 5 webinar topics, because there's really for my business. Now look, I could be very short in the prompts. I don't have to preload it with a whole new conversation and upload all the information. It knows all that already. So remember, lead magnets, that's probably the most important thing too right now too. If you're like, hey, how do I get more sales? How do I grow my business? Creating really quality lead magnets, and then doing paid ads or so I have a client right now that's doing fitness military coaching. Every time he creates a social media post on Reels and Facebook Shorts, and then also TikTok, the call to action at the very end, he gives a tip. Hey, here's how to survive. Here's how to get into the military boot camp. 3 things you need to know, ABC. He ends every video, and I highly recommend it, with a call to action, because they're going to watch that 1-minute video. And at the very end, you're going to say, if you found this valuable, comment fitness and you'll get my free guide. That's how you get leads from social media. Is every piece of content that you create has a call to action that says, hey, if you want my free guide or watch my free masterclass. That's the other thing too, because video, that's what this is just a long webinar masterclass. It's a lead magnet. So like here, for example, so these are 5 guides that I could create: the 30-minute fitness formula, the meal prep easy guide, and I did it from a very short prompt. So that's why it's really helpful to create custom GPTs, little consultants for your business. So now I got my lead magnets. Great. I could work with ChatGPT to build these out. Or I could do webinar topics. Hey, from plates to progress, mastering nutrition, consistency is the key. Now, another thing with ChatGPT, whatever ChatGPT outputs, it's usually very verbose. It uses words that people don't use, for example. So what I love doing, like from plates to progress, mastering nutrition, those are big words. Everything in marketing should be simplified to a 3rd grade reading level. So that's why I like working with when I say ChatGPT, I say translate for average Joe. That's been my favorite prompt, because now it rewrites it basically at a 3rd grade level, and that's going to make the sales copy convert higher. When you use big words, it confuses people. They don't connect with your business or product. They don't know what you're selling. So by saying, hey, I've got quick workouts and big results. Hey, easy meal prep for busy people. Do you want to lose weight in 7 days? Do you want to stay on track? Fitness myths you need to know. Now it's more simplified. So I'm like, okay, I could work with that. And again, remember our rule: whatever ChatGPT, if it gives you something helpful, we copy it out of ChatGPT and we put it in our digital notebook so that we can find it later. We can do tweaking. We can now add in 7 days. You could do all your editing in your digital notebook before you ship it. So I'm going to end with 3 custom GPTs, and then we'll do learning, and then we could do questions. So right at the end, custom GPTs that you should create for your business. I have a couple here that I highly recommend. Number 1 is you create a business coach. Add all the information about your business into the custom GPT so that whenever you have questions about, hey, how do I grow my business in the next 30 days? Hey, what social media content should I be creating? Hey, I need a value ladder. What's a lead magnet? What's a low ticket offer? What's a high ticket offer I should be offering, for example? The business coach is going to help you work all those out and help you just at the end of the day make better decisions, which is really good. I use it all the time for business coaching. I have a life coach in here. I have it's very helpful. Second one is a marketing one for creating content. So when I create content, I create like Instagram Reels. I script out every post because I don't want to just record and have it be super random, because then it won't convert. I want to talk about the pain points that my customers are feeling, so I could give them tips to help them achieve some result. Usually for my business, it's just like ChatGPT results and stuff. So this is a ChatGPT called Instagram Script Bot. We could take a look under the hood and see. So when I create scripts, it's like, hey, you're a social media script writing assistant designed to help the user develop engaging 1-minute scripts. It's going to take a brief topic. It's going to give me an outline. And remember that framework? I have a framework where basically, because remember, role, task, framework, or output that you want. So I say, hey, every piece of content should start with a very strong opening hook, offer informative tips, and conclude with a call to action. If you take anything away from the webinar about creating content, always have a call to action, and it's always going to be get my free guide or sign up for my free masterclass or free training. Those are really the top two that's really going to turn people that are just watching your social media content to then reach out to you. So one client, the fitness guy, he's just posted 4 videos already. He's getting people in his DMs asking for the free guide. So he's going to say, hey, what's the best email I should send it to? Because he's capturing their contact information to stay in touch. They'll get the guide. He'll follow up with them over the next couple of days, and he's already gotten 2 sales from that. So every piece of content needs to have a call to action. And then the script should be avoid technical jargon. These are all prompts, and you can always add more instructions. So when I create a script for fitness coaching, something simple, it knows this response because I pre-programmed it with the prompt engineering or exactly what I'm looking for example, then it gives me exactly what I want. So this is really helpful for creating custom GPTs to automate your work, to streamline your work. So for me to come up with a hook, come up with tips, come up with the call to action, and then have to do that because I have to create content every single week, for example. Now I've automated that process to now I can just pump out a bunch of scripts in about 5 minutes that usually used to take hours, basically, of trying to figure out on my own. So that's why creating script for social media content, a business coach, sales coach is also a great one for customers that have objections. How do you overcome objections, which is a good one. Sales, marketing, content, and just a business coach are really the main ones. And then micro tasks. If you have tasks, like say, for example, creating scripts, it could be creating blog articles. It could be writing a newsletter. I have one that they have a newsletter that goes out every week. So all they do is just copy information, dump it in a custom GPT, and it writes a very well-written newsletter in the same style that all their previous ones, because they just uploaded examples of it. That's a great one there. So that's a lot there. So coming to the very end, finishing out, we'll skip Claude. Chatbots are really powerful. You'll eventually start hiring in 2025 more chatbots than you will employees. Here's the screenshot. Take a screenshot of the top 50 AI tools, whether it be creating video, writing some code, doing some marketing copy, having a writing assistant, for example, if you want to write a book, graphic design, presentations, speech to text, voice generators, if you work with spreadsheets, AI assistants, search engine, use another one that's interesting. Image generation, these are the best. Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Ideogram is also really good. Night Cafe is free. So take a screenshot. These are the top 50 tools. But really, at the end of the day, ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity are the main ones. And then these become what's called task specific for whatever task or project that you're working on. Final thing, and then I'll do questions. Beautiful images like Midjourney and Night Cafe, great, do it great, way better than ChatGPT. So that's the whole pyramid. That's everything you'll need to keep up to date as an entrepreneur with both AI and productivity and marketing. Because at the end of the day, your goal is to get more leads, close more sales, and do it without having to hire additional people. You need to have this structure. So basically it's skills at the end of the day. Using the right tools and having the skills to use them is really your biggest investment on helping you get the most out of AI, because if not, your competitors are, and you will get replaced by your competitors. If you found this valuable, join my AI community down below, or you can also book an appointment if you want to learn how to use AI in your profession or your business.